Alright, we are on 11.2, area of triangles and of trapezoids. In an area of a triangle, you can see the formula as 1/2 the base times the height, or you can also say base times height divided by 2, which means exactly the same thing. Where does the formula come from? We're going to talk further about this tomorrow and actually do an example and allow you to cut some things up to understand where this actually comes from. So just to save time on the podcast, just know we're going to come back to this tomorrow. Here is my base. Here is my height. And again, always remember that that base is always determined and the height by that 90-degree symbol. That perpendicular line you have to ensure that we have an exact and precise height. Okay? Go ahead and hit pause and you can copy this down. We're going to get to trapezoids next. Alright, now looking at this particular problem, we're trying to determine what the base is and what the height is. And it kind of looks a little upside down, but I did this for good reason. We're trying to find something that's perpendicular. Okay, well here's my 90-degree symbol down here. Okay, if this is 90 degrees and we're looking at this line as well, this is also 90 degrees up here. Okay, so when you do that, this is 8 centimeters, this is 16, this is 9, and this would, again, since my 90-degree angle is right here, that is my base. So my base is 16. My height, again, has to be connected with that perpendicular line, which is 8. And we're going to divide that by 2, or you can multiply it by half. Now, I will say that most of my students are probably going to want to divide by 2. But again, you can plug that in your calculator and multiply it by 1/2. It's meaning the same thing. And I know we've spoke about that a lot through the months. So 16 times 8, and you get 48, and then 12, so 128. We're going to divide that by 2 to get 64, and it is centimeters squared, square centimeters, because we are dealing with area. Okay, so that's the first part, is just simply going through those steps. The next one is going into what we discussed yesterday and trying to understand how to use the units. Okay, so we need to count the units. I'm going to let you go ahead and hit pause, and then you can solve this. Alright, once again, we want to make certain we always write our formula down before we get started, so we can literally just plug this information in. So we're going to count for my base, and we're looking for the 90-degree, and that does create the 90 degrees. So this is my base, and this is my height. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units long. Don't worry about that this is a half. It's not counted as a half. Okay, it is how many units long that line is. Okay, so it is 9 times my height, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, we're going from the top of this to the bottom. So times 12. Okay, and we're dividing that by 2. So 12 times 9, we get 18, 108. Divided by 2 to get my 54, and it is units squared. Okay, questions on that, please again take note, and we can discuss it further tomorrow. Some of your questions might be about these up here, trying to determine if it's a half of a right triangle or the half of a box or not, and we can talk further about that tomorrow. Now, when we use area of a trapezoid, it's using this formula right here. 1/2 times the height times base 1 plus base 2. And as you can see here, I identified them as base 1 and base 2. and you can simply take those problems and plug that information into this. So here's my formula. So 1/2 times, well, my height is listed right here, and that is 5, times my base 1 plus base 2. So base 1 is 12 plus base 2 is 10. So we're going to solve what's in the parentheses first. So 1/2 times 5 times, it's going to give me 22. Okay, so now I've got to solve that. Now you can always take this and multiply by 1/2 to any of these numbers. You can plug this all straight through your calculator, and if you do that, you're going to find that you end up getting 55 for that. Okay. If you want to work left to right, you can. You can, because of your associative property, you can also do your 5 times 22. And if you do 5 times 22, you can see that you're going to end up getting 110. Okay, and then times 1/2. Times 110, and you get the 55 square feet. Okay, and that is the area of that trapezoid. And again, we're going to talk more about the trapezoids tomorrow as well. Okay. Next question is going to be doing this trapezoid. I'm going to skip this part because we're going to talk more about it tomorrow, but you can go ahead and attempt to do this. If you want to hit pause, you can, but for time's sake, we're going to talk more about this tomorrow. You can attempt it and then check and see tomorrow if you get the right answer or not. So go ahead and hit pause if you want, and go ahead and try to solve that using the formula for that. But we'll discuss it further tomorrow because it is going to take a little more discussion for this one. But you would still use this formula to get that. Okay, so have a great night. Good luck on this problem, and we'll check and see if how you did on it and how others did as well. Have a great night. Bye-bye.